let's continue to take an Algebra 1 EOC. If you can answer all these questions, then you can answer everything correctly in your EOC/Regent/State exam/final exam. So now let's get right into it. If you need to watch part 1, I'm going to link that right here. Go ahead and do that. Let's start question 11. The height h of an object after t seconds is given by the equation h equals minus 2t squared minus 9t plus 56. And how many seconds will the object strike the ground? This means that you have to find the y-intercept. No, you need to find the x-intercepts of this. And we can just do that right here. 2t squared. There are several ways that we can solve this. I guess a way that I will always turn to is the quadratic formula. So we know the song, right? I'm going to use the song that we made, not the one that everybody knows. So it's like, it's just the formula you use to solve for x. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we have 4 times minus 2 times 56 all over 2a. So this will be all over minus 4. Okay, that's pretty weird, but anyway, let's do this. So we have 81 plus, what is 4 times 2? That is 8. What is 56 times 8? I'm sorry, I do not have my calculator with me. 6 times 8, 48, so that is 448, and then you would have to add 81, 9, plus 8 plus 4 is 12, 13. Okay, so now we have 539. So yeah, first I'm gonna see if like 27 is the root. I mean, it might not be, but 27 times 7 is 9, 40, 2 times 7 is 14, 18. Yeah, no, it's not. It could be 23 though. Let me try that. 23 times 23, 9, 6, 3 times 2 is 6, 9, 12. Yeah, it is. I just realized that I carried a 1 when I shouldn't have, so it's 529. Yeah, so let me get rid of that. So it's 529, which means that 23 is our answer for this part. So we have 9 plus or minus 23 over minus 4. So since we're dealing with time, we want time to be positive. So since we have a negative number in the denominator, let's just subtract. So 9 minus 23, what is that? Is that minus 14? And then minus 14 over minus 4 is our answer. So I think that would just be 14 over 4. Yeah. Okay, so now let's move on. Let me delete all of this. The next thing is a scale model of a rectangular plot of land is 13 inches long by 12 inches wide. If the actual length of the plot is 780 feet, what is its actual area in square feet? So this is just a proportions problem. So we have to, it's like ratios and proportions. So here we have 13 over 12 equals 780 over blank. So the actual length of the plot is 780 feet. So 13 times what is 780? That would be 13 times 6 is 78. So that would be 6, and then you would, since you're multiplying by 10, you would get 60. So then you have to multiply 12 by 60 as well. So then you would get 720. But hold up, we're not done. It wants us to find the actual area, which is 780 times 720. And what we can do here is literally just multiply 78 times 72 and then just add add 2 zeros to the end. So it's 156, and then 0, 8 times 7 is 56. 7 times 7 is 49, times 5 is 54. So then we would have 6, 11, 6. Yep, so we have 5616. You add these 2 zeros to the end, and then we have I as our answer. Next is set A contains 20 elements, set B contains 15 elements, and set A union B contains 6 elements. How many elements are contained in the set A or B? So if set A contains 20 elements, set B contains 15, then if we're talking about A or B, we need to subtract everything in A and B. Otherwise, what's in these would be counted twice. Because we have 20 elements in set A, 15 in set B. We have 6 that are a part of both, and we don't want to count these sets, everything in this thing twice. So we have 20 plus 15 minus 6. So that's 35 minus 6, and then that is 29. So that is our answer, 29. Okay, next, for number 14. In factoring the expression this thing, which of the following is the greatest common factor? So, what we can do here is, okay, so the next thing could be, we would have to see what we can distribute. So we can say, find the greatest common factor of every little thing, mesh them all together. It's all so easy. So let's say we have 12 and 20. What is the greatest common factor of 12 and 20? In this case, we would have, I think it would be 4, because it's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So it would be 4. Now let's see what it is here. If we have x squared and x squared goes into x cubed, so it would be 4x squared. And then we have y goes into y cubed cannot go into y. So we look at that, we combined everything and we are now done. The next thing is, given the equation a equals b plus c squared d, which of the following is the correct expression for d? Right when we look at this thing, we can tell that it's a literal equation because literal equations are made of only letters. And now let's try to solve it. To solve them, find the letter that you wish to isolate. So we a equals b plus c squared. Okay. Treat all the others letters just like numbers. Solve like a normal equation. You reach the end. That's great. Okay, how do you solve a normal equation? Order of operations in reverse. Let's solve this with pride. If you see a minus sign, you add, and if it's multiply, you divide. Also, we have to isolate the variable. So when we look at this thing, we see addition, and so since we do order of operations in reverse, we just have to subtract b from both sides. We have a minus b equals c squared d. Whenever we see c squared d, if we don't see a multiplication symbol, but these two things are meshed together, just assume that it's there. So the next thing is multiplication. And if it's multiply, you divide. Let's divide by c squared. So now we get d equals a minus b over c squared. And so we now have that as our answer. Moving on. What are the coordinates of the x-intercept of the line that's represented by the equation 7x plus 4y equals 28? So all you have to do is to use our standard form song where we say, c over a, 0 is the value of your x-intercept. Okay, so we see that this is a, this is b, and then this is c. So c over a, so 28 over 7 equals 4. And since the x-intercept is the value of x when y is 0, this would be the x-coordinate, and y is just 0. Our answer is H. Moving forward. For the simplified form of the product of 3x squared plus 7, 2x plus 9, what is the sum of the coefficients of the x term and the x squared term and the x term? In order to solve this one, you just have to remember our song about multiplying binomials. So here's how it goes. How to multiply binomials: first, outside, inside, last. Multiply each pair, add, simplify, you got your answer fast. So first, we have 3x squared plus 2x times 2x, so we have 6x cubed. So it's first outside. So next we have plus 27x squared. First outside, inside, so we have plus 14x plus last we have 63. So let's double check this. We have 3 times 3x squared plus 2 times 2x, that's 6x cubed. 3x squared times 9 is 27x squared. 7 times 2x is 14x, and then 7 times 9 is 63. So what is the sum of the coefficients of the x squared term, which is this, and the x term, which is this? 27 plus 14, it is 41. So that is our answer. Moving on. Which of the following is a sufficient condition to show that a graph of an equation does not represent a function? Now you should make a callback to our song about functions, which I guess I could link. So it's like, functions have many forms. They can be curves or lines. There can even be, but there can never be 1x for 1y. If the y's for an x is more than 1, you do not have a function. And so what we can use to determine if the y's for an x is more than 1 is to use the vertical line test, which it says right here, a vertical line intersects the graph at more than one point. If that happens, then we do not have a function. Okay, next. What is the result of multiplying 6x squared yz cubed by this? Okay, I guess what we can do is just multiply each term separately. So we can have 48. That's the first one, because 6 times 8 is 48. X squared times x squared is just x to the power, wait, hold on. So if we have x squared here and x squared here, this looks like it's x to the power of 4. And then we have y times y to the power of 4, which is just y 5. Okay, and then z cubed times z cubed is z 9. And okay, so we have, it's z6, my bad, because you add them. It's z6. So we have, I guess we can get rid of this. We can get rid of this. So we have y times y4. Okay. The answer is D for some reason, even though I can clearly see that we have an x squared and an x squared, and if you use the product rule of exponents where you literally add them, it should be x to the power of 4, unless there's a typo or something, but I'm just going to leave it. Next. At a planetarium show, children's tickets cost $10 and adults' tickets cost $20 apiece. There are only 2 types of tickets sold. At a recent show, 29 tickets were sold for a total revenue of $430. How many tickets were sold? Okay, so let's use X to represent a children's ticket. And then Y to represent adult. Okay, so 29 tickets were sold. So X plus Y just equals 29. And next we have children's tickets cost 10 and adults cost 20. Dang, I don't know why adults have to pay a lot more. But anyway, it has a revenue of $430. So how many children's tickets were sold? So what we're doing here is solving for X, and what we can do to get rid of the adults cost, which is Y. is to you do a systems of equations but using elimination. And if you call back to our song about systems of equations, method 2 is elimination. Line up unknowns for all equations. Multiply an unknown by a common coefficient. So the common coefficient here would just be minus 20, because if we do that, we can cancel out the y variable, because one of them will be minus 20, the other will be plus 20. And even the song says, cancel out a common unknown by making them have opposite signs. Let's do the multiplying now. So we have minus 20x minus 20y equals minus 580, because 29 times 2 is 58. And then we just add the 0. Okay. Combine like terms all together. Let's combine them. So we have minus 10x equals, let's say it's, I think it's minus 150. Yeah, and then you divide both sides by minus 10, and then you get x is equal to 15. There are 15 child tickets that were sold. Answer is G. Now let's keep going. What is the solution for x in the inequality minus 3x plus 4 equals minus 16? So, so now, like, for first, let's try to solve this like an equation. Order of operations in reverse. Let's solve this with pride. If you see a minus sign, you add, and if it's multiply, you divide. Well, we see an addition. Since we're doing order of operations in reverse, we do subtraction. So we have minus 3x less than 12. Since we have an inequality and we're dividing by a negative, what would happen is we would switch the way that the inequality sign is pointing. So we would do that. So we have x is greater than minus 4. That is our answer. If you want, you can plug it in and check. What are the coordinates of the y-intercept of the line that's represented by the equation 6x minus 5y equals 30? If you call back to our standard form song again, it's like the way of calculating the intercept is the y-intercept has a value 0c over b. So we have 0, and then c in this case would be 30, because this is ax plus by equals c, so 30. And then b would just be minus 5, because that's the coefficient of y. So that would be 0 minus 6. That is our answer. What is the value of x in the equation this thing? So this is just kind of like solving a normal equation. So yeah, let's keep going. So we would have 10x minus 15 plus 14x plus 4 equals 37. So we have 24x minus 11 equals 37. And then you do order of operations in reverse once again. I think you can see the pattern here. 24x equals 48. And then you would divide both sides by 24. X equals 2. Moving on. Okay. A health club charges $150 a month for each member, plus an hourly rate of 5 for the use of the club's facilities. The function shown below can be used to determine the cost in dollars per month for the use of this health club's facilities. We have f of h equals 150 plus 5h. Janine used the club facilities in October, November, and December. If she paid $300 in October, $380 in November, and $330 in December, how many total hours did she spend? So it charges $150 every month plus an hourly rate of 5 for the use of the club facilities. We can write this as 150 plus 5x. And so let's, instead of using this equation 3 times, let's just say let's add 300, 380, and 330. So 380 plus 330 is 710, plus 300 is 1,010. So 1,010 would equal 450 for the monthly membership fee, because it's 150 per month, plus 5x. So let's do this. So 1010 minus 450. Then let's do basic subtraction. 9, 11. 11 minus 5 is 6. 9 minus 4 is 5. So it's 560. And now let's divide this by 5 to find how many hours she spent across all 3 months. So 5 times 1 is 5, and then 5 12s are 60. So 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. So we have 112. She'd be wildin' though. And then lastly, what's the slope of the line that contains minus 2, minus 7, and minus 6, 4? So let's go back to our slope song. To calculate it, what you do next is take the change in y, divide by change in x. Change in y, we can start off with minus 7, minus 4. Change in x, we can do minus 2, minus 6. So minus 7 minus 4 is minus 11. Minus 2 minus 6, which would just be plus 6, would be 4. So the slope is minus 11 over 4. And this cannot be simplified. That is the end of part 2. Comment below if you want part 3, and good luck on your exams.